So welcome to our Facebook Live performance. We do this for 7 Mile House. I think this is the 12th week of these performances, and this week and last week we got to do it with a great band of fantastic musicians. All of these musicians have played before at 7 Mile House in various iterations, and are part of the family of musicians that play down there. On the piano we have the wonderful Keith Saunders. On the trumpet we have Modesto Briseno. On drums we have the wonderful Cortez. And on the bass, and also the club operator for us, he's our backyard specialist, we have Saxton on the bass. Yours truly, Andrew Speight, on the saxophone. And yeah, we're going to have some fun playing some tunes for you today, and we'll probably play for close to an hour. And today, as last week, because it's such an important thing for us as musicians, we are all very influenced by the black musician culture that created this music of jazz. So we're going to play compositions by some of the great jazz composers with that in mind. And we have all been influenced directly by the wonderful musicians that made this music. And it's fair to say that pretty much all of the innovators in this music have been black musicians, so we owe a huge debt to them. So we're going to start actually with a wonderful trumpet player's composition. This one is called Joy Spring by the great Clifford Brown. One, two, three. fun already. So from there we go. That's the great Clifford Brown, Joy Spring, and from there we go to one of the most soulful of the musicians from the late 1950s, 1960s. His name is Bobby Timmons. He was a wonderful piano player, very heavily influenced by the gospel tradition as well as the tradition of bebop and the styles of music that were around in the 1940s and 50s. So this tune is particularly soulful. It's one of the anthems of jazz. It's called Moanin'. We hope you enjoy this, by Bobby Timmons. Yeah, you want to do it? Yeah. Wow, so if that doesn't make you feel good, then nothing does, because there's nothing better than that sound of Art Blakey and Bobby Timmons and Lee Morgan, all of the great guys who played on the original recording of this tune. And we try the best we can to re-establish that groove and keep that in our hearts and souls. So that was Bobby Timmons' tune called Moanin'. And again, you were listening to Keith Saunders on the piano, Modesto Briseno on the trumpet, Chris Cortez on the drums, and Jeff Saxton on the double bass. We're going to follow that with one of the most important musicians, really, in the history of music. And he is a saxophone player. He's been a huge influence on me. His name is Charlie Parker, and it was said by Charles Mingus once that if he was to invoke plagiarism laws, he could have sued pretty much every musician that came after him. He is that important to music. So we're going to play a tune actually that he wrote in the year of 1946 and played on a recording that he did in Los Angeles. It's called Moose the Mooch, and this will feature our drummer on some of his incredible traits. So this is Moose the Mooch by Charlie Parker. Why don't you give us that phone? Yeah, we never know how we're going to end it, but we always get there and do that kind of thing. So again, thanks for coming and listening and joining our little jam session here. If you want to make any tips to the band, it's a Venmo account and it's under Speight Jazz. And what we do is we get the tips out to some of the musicians who need it in the Bay Area and that we play with on a regular basis. So that's Speight Jazz at Venmo. That was a composition by Charlie Parker called Mr. Mooch. I love Charlie Parker, of course, but we all love to play his music. It teaches us a lot about this music. And it taught a lot to the next musician we're going to feature on his next tune. Jazz is a really important music because it's the ultimate democracy, and the fact that everybody gets to solo and play their take on whatever you do. We all get together and we choose tunes by that democratic thing. But the other important parts about this music that make it unmistakable are its rhythms and the sound of the blues that goes and pervades all the way through. So this next tune embodies all of those things, and it's by another saxophone player. His name was Joe Henderson.